In this video we're going to take a look at masks within PicturesToExe, and there's a few creative ways we can put them to good use. Just before we start though, let me switch to Photoshop for no other reason than to just demonstrate what a mask looks like. Here we are, 1920, 1080. If we use this in PicturesToExe and we applied it to an image, the center white oval would be completely transparent. That would allow us, if we wished, to superimpose another image into that oval, and we could even animate it too if we wanted. So it follows then that masks can be almost any shape we can dream up. We can have them sharp edged, or we can have them soft as we have here. We can create masks within PicturesToExe, but we can also create something different perhaps in an image editor. Now let's look at probably the most common use first of all, which is superimposing one image into another. Let me select this image here, go to the Objects and Animation screen. I'm going to go straight to the top left and select a mask. I'm going to ask for a mask template. This means I'm going to be looking at the masks that come with PicturesToExe. As you can see here, we can create a circle, we can create rectangles, but I can also make the circle an oval shape. I've got control of the blur and even the corner radius, but not with a circle or an oval, of course. So I could, if I wanted to, say give me my mask 1920 by 1080. That's not cast in stone because we can always change a mask once we've got it applied. So let's click OK to apply that, and there you can see what we have. Now if you look over on the right hand side, you can see that it's made up of a number of different parts. What we're looking at here is the mask stencil, which in our case is this one here, which we've just created. If we wanted to put a different image here, we have to put that into the mask content. Let me do that straight away by selecting it, right clicking and adding an image. Just need to navigate to where I'm working, and the one I'm looking for is the boat, and click OK. What I've done with the image I've placed inside the mask content, the one I've called BD006, this is one image which I've made very slightly larger than 1920 1080, just to be able to demonstrate that we can, if we wish, have the animation running within the mask. Maybe one example could be if I go to my animation here and I select the image itself, the boat image which is inset into the mask. I've got my first keyframe selected. I'm going to go here and choose original size. It just gives me the maximum size I can use that image, created at 2560 pixels by 1440, without losing quality. So as you know, if I want to make some adjustments to the starting point, I can do so here. I can create another keyframe. I'll clone a keyframe here, and we'll just move the pan to the left, which seems logical given where the boat is heading. We do have to be a little careful here because we can go too far. If I click into the grey area, you can see if the inset image moves too far within the mask, then of course we can reveal the straight edge of the image we've superimposed in. But no great problem, because we could just back off until we've got that nice soft shape. But be careful, because I can still see that just about there. I think a good tip when you're using this technique is that the image you want to superimpose, if you want to do something like I'm doing, you'll notice that I chose an image where the main interest is quite small within the frame. If we had an image perhaps which was almost filled with a flower, we'd be struggling to do what I'm doing here because we'd be seeing the edges and losing parts of the image perhaps. Not forgetting, of course, we'd also need to consider speed as well, and it rather depends on whether we're going to have the animation beginning before the fade on screen or after. But another safe option, of course, if we're going to pan this, would be just smooth. And I'll just run it here so you can see what we've got. Let's press play. Maybe a little bit fast here because I haven't got a great deal of space to play with, but we would certainly adjust that, of course, in the other window if we was putting this together in a slideshow with music. Now we've got some options here because we can go to the mask and we can animate the mask as well. So if we wanted the mask to be moving with a picture within it, we can do that too. We can adjust the mask, so I could, for example, decide that I didn't want my mask quite so big, I wanted a much smaller area or a bigger area. And if push comes to shove, I can actually select my mask circle, go to the properties, and I can go back and make some adjustments. So if I felt that the edge here wasn't soft enough, or it was too soft, then I've got the width of the blur there that I can make adjustments. Now let me come out of the objects and animation screen. I've just dropped another image before this, so we've got something to see before and after. So I'll just press play here so we can see what we've done in connection with the previous image, which has a nice fade. There's the animation, probably a little bit too fast or a little bit too much animation, so I would probably drop that back a little. Or, of course, as we know, if we want to increase the time the image is on screen, and that's going to have a bearing on the music and the project we're working on, but probably those extra few seconds will make a nice difference to the speed of the pan, and I think it probably does. But of course we're not set with an oval. I could have quite a large oblong, either hard edged or soft edged.